Yup. You. What up, guys? What a gwan? Hope we're good. Hope we are good. Hope we're doing great. Hope we're doing well. Hope we're good. Hope we slept well last night. For those here, this could be their morning. Hope we had a good time. So I think it's time for us to do like a retrospect of uh, so it's time for us to do like a retrospect of the week, what's been going on for the week, what we're planning for the new week, and where are we on that? You, Zamira, how are you? Hope you're good. Hope you are great. Hope you're good. Hope you're great. So, well, on my part, it's been an interesting week. To be very honest, it's literally been an interesting week. So, on retrospect, right? Retrospect of the week. Zamira, how are you? Hope you're good. Timmy, what's up? Hope you're doing great as well. Hope you are good. Chin Wenum Okuta. Good morning. How are you? Chi. So can I call you Chi? Chiwi. Can I call you Chiwi? How are you doing, Chiwi? Hope you're good. Hope you are great as well. Hope you are doing good. Okay. Retrospective this week. So one thing that is necessary to do most times when you get to Saturdays and let's say you are not trading for the week, it's you want to always do retrospect, right? Always do retrospect of how your week has been. And now, regardless of whether you are a trader or not, you want to always ask yourself is, okay, how well have I done this week? The reason why most people end up being in a loop and in a circle is because they haven't been able to get to a point of understanding how they can find emotional balance, how they can find emotional mastery. I mean, the surge and the need of making money, because we definitely all want to make money, and but the surge and the craziness and the of making money literally gets to put us in that place where uh, it puts us in that. Sorry, I just it puts us in that place whereby we get to most times forget the most important things. The most important things, which, to be fair, I would say is understandable, right? I mean, I can. We can literally understand that and the context why people may want to get to behave that way, act that way. I mean, it's understandable because of definitely the need of money. You want to make money and stuff, but most times when you lose yourself, you've lost the most important thing, because if you're not put together, you'll be in a loop. And what I mean being in a loop is when you get to repeat the same mistake over and over and over again. You're repeating the same mistake, having the same issues, having the same circumstance, and you just keep on being in that loop whereby you're targeting to get $1 million and you never get there, or you're targeting to make your first $100,000. You never get there because you just make an amount of money, you lose the amount of money, you make again, and you lose, and you make and lose. So this is a practice I've seen every successful trader, investor always do. At the end of each week on a Saturday, you take a chick pill, right? Take a chill pill. The market is not going anywhere, it's not going to leave you behind. There are always opportunities as long as you know what you're doing, and you definitely always get to make money. So if you got this, you want to do retrospect of the week, right? And you begin to think, okay, where did I get it wrong this week? Did I make any mistakes this week? Do I lose this week? Chiwe said, very well, sir. Simi said, I'm fine, sir. Good, fantastic. Common Solution Enterprise, the GM Shifu. How are you? Hope you're good. Mr. IT, how are you doing? Hope you're good. I hope you are great. So back to what I was saying. Coming a bit. So back to what I was saying. So the retrospect for the week, on my part, the first thing I think of is, so I'm an intuitive trader, right? An intuitive trader is a trader who trades a lot based on their intuitive abilities. And it's not really an advisable way to trade, because it doesn't look like a system. What I mean isn't like a system is, now there are people who trade you just trade based on technical analysis. There are people who trade based on fundamental analysis, sentimental analysis. But intuitive traders are traders who trade based on two things. One, gut feelings. Sometimes, and these gut feelings could be based on being able to, they have what we call a heightened level of intuition. And because of my spiritual journey, my spiritual part, I happen to be the kind of person that have a very heightened level of intuition. So sometimes I may not even be able to explain the full details on a technical aspect of why I'm taking this particular trade, but based on my intuition that this is valid, adding every other thing put together, it gives me the go ahead. But the problem with this at times is when you're not able to find the balance between your intuition and proper reasoning. Because I mean, my intuitions could tell me that, okay, gold is gonna buy, right? And it's gonna buy between this time to this time. And intuition is basically the voice of the human spirit. The voice of a human spirit. Conscience, so that the human spirit has two voices, right? We have our conscience and our intuition. Your conscience tells you what not to do, your intuition tells you what to do. So, and there are people who have been able to grow their intuitions very, very well, regardless of your religion. Referring to spiritualism now. So, and it works in every aspect of life, whether it's trading or whatever you're doing, I don't care. As long as if you have a heightened intuition, you could barely go wrong. It's a lot of spiritual exercises. You build yourself to get to that place, maybe through meditation and stuff and whatnot. And I operate in that level, I operate in that realm, but my intuition is off the chart. I mean, I just need to, if I get to talk to you the first time, I could literally know even the things you do not want to tell me about. I just know if you're a fake person or not. There are people who are like that, right? And I happen to be that kind of a person. And if you're that kind of person and you're trading, it's definitely going to show up in your trading. And sometimes it could mess you up. Because now your reason is telling you that you should take this trade in this way, and your intuition is telling you otherwise. So it could literally mess you up. And I think it is one thing I'm trying to find a balance, right? Finding the balance for it and building a system around it. I think next year I may try from time to time. It's gonna help me a lot in that aspect of trying to come up with certain systems I've been able to develop and put them together to form a course strategy based on the things you see, the predictions I give and stuff. So anybody can literally go through it and start replicating the kind of result that I get in predictions and stuff, and also build themselves in that aspect as well. And the second issue, I think, when I had a retrospect of the week, is sometimes so much knowledge could be a disaster. So much money. When you have so much money at times and then you're trading, when you look at the charts, you begin to think of different strategies, like different strategies in your head, and you're not thinking which of them is going to work best. Sometimes it affects data a lot. This is Dodge from my level, from my entry, for example, which is on the screen, right? And Dodge has been incredible from the get-go, literally from the get-go. And when I look at Dodge, if this was the initial, okay, let me do this. So Dodge is getting to 0.3, and I mean, so majority of altcoins are creating their new levels this week, and what with them and stuff. They're all doing that this week. So if you look at what we call this, so right here, I could look at this trade now and say, okay, what I'm seeing here is a harmonic pattern. I'm seeing a wave pattern. I'm seeing a smart money concept. I'm seeing a head and shoulders pattern, and I'm also seeing what is the next thing I'm going to see? I'm seeing now. I'm also seeing there's something I'm seeing here. Yes, a channel breakout economics pattern as well. So let me draw this. So you get something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, right? A breakout, definitely. And then when you get the breakouts, you want to get an entry. So since you're getting the breakout on the daily, the entry is definitely going to be like on the 8 hours to the 4 hours. So you get to be in this place where you see all this. So this honestly, this would have been a re-entry, right? If one misses the first position, this area between yesterday and today would have been, sorry, would have been a very good point of re-entry here. I'm using so this now. So even at the current price, you're up like almost 1-to-1, and they were looking aiming for 0.3. So at 0.3, you're gonna be like up 2.5 RR. But now these are like based on different strategies, right? There's not like just one thing in my head. So sometimes it could be an issue when you have too much knowledge. It could mess up with you, and especially when it comes to the data, having data of okay, based on this works, based on this doesn't work, and whatnot. I think let me see if I could. I don't know if my trading account has Dodge in it. When I mean trading account, I'm referring to my Forex account. If it has, I may want to. Maybe I may try to just play around with this a bit using 0.2 as the stop on the 1 hour, like here or hip as well, just to have a better RR and whatnot. But that's that for that. I think the third thing I have like a retrospect is overconfidence, right? I'm somebody that's overconfident. There are two kinds of things in trading. There are people who suffer from fear, and there are people who suffer from being overconfident. Overconfidence is when you feel sometimes you feel invisible. You feel like the market is not going to mess you up, and that's the problem. I think one of the things I'm dealing with, and I'm still working on it, right? Trying to humble myself, and that's why most times when I share trades, I always try to belittle the praise that I share, try to sound it in a way that whatever happens based on the data. And why? So it helps my psychology so I don't get too confident. Because that's something I think it happens when you become too good in your trading, you become too confident. And it's also not a good thing. It's definitely not a good thing to be too confident because too much confidence could make you do some kind of crazy risks you're not supposed to do and all that, and you literally do it yourself. I think if you joined yesterday's session when I talked about what happens usually on the bull markets weekends and how it's going to impact Ethereum and the altcoins, I think that's what we are seeing. The sign that we are in the bull market is when you get the weekends on a Saturday, whereby usually there's no movement in the market, and you definitely get to see movement, crazy movements, crazy pushes in the market, and that's what's happening today as well. So this is me trying to bring you along in my own retrospect, right? Dragging you a bit along myself that, okay, this is my retrospect, this is what I'm looking at. And based on that, you begin to now ask yourself, okay, what is your own retrospect? What are you looking at this week? Where did you get it wrong? What do you think are issues you need to work on yourself? Because it's very easy to throw blames at people. It's very easy to say, oh, this person messed me up. Oh, this person. You want to ask them, where are you getting wrong? Is your problem trade management? Is your problem greed? Is your problem mental imbalance? You want to look at what, where are you messed? Why? Because now, if you've identified that, okay, these are three things, you will not. The second question you want to ask yourself is, how can I do better? What do I need to do to improve myself? How can I become better? How can I work on myself in this area, in this place, based on the retrospect of the week, so I can become better next week, so I won't repeat the same mistake next week. This is the thing I've done. Now I'm sharing publicly a little bit look at my retrospect for the week, and you're like, okay, this is the areas, this is what I'm gonna work on, this is what I'm gonna do, and next week, this simple exercise you do will result into you having more money and more peace, more prosperity and more peace. As simple as that, but a lot of people don't do it. And because they don't do it, they will always be in a loop. It will always be in a loop because your mind has been the hardest thing for a person to change is their mind, the way they think, the way they reason. And as long as you can't change a person's mind, it will be nearly impossible to change their life. And even for if for any reason they make money through you, they will end up still losing that money. They are still gonna lose that money. There are so many persons have made so much money over the years and they'll still end up losing the money. Some of them still go back to square one. So making money is not a problem, right? I mean, you could come in today, you're making $1 million, you're making $100,000, you make $10,000, you will still lose the money because there will people see. This is why the mind is the most important thing. It is the most important thing. And this is how you do it. This is how I do it every weekend for myself. This is how I do it every single weekend. Right? Now, based on that, you just okay, this is retrospect, this is what you want to start working on. Right? So let's do a little bit of, should I use the word, puzzles for, like I said, honestly, I do not want to trade this weekend, but since Ethereum is giving the flag, because honestly, right now is not, the RR is going to be poor. Why? Because if I want to enter here using this same stop, right, targeting here is going to be like a 1-to-1 RR, but I'm definitely going to make money, but just 1-to-1 RR. I wouldn't want to make it. I don't want to make it. I think it's not a bad one because on the daily, the stochastic RSI is still very strong. Let's look at the 6 hours. These are like proper retest zones. So I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. The 6 hours looks like it may go on to. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to see how it's going to go. 0.18810. Okay. Or I could even take like a better position on Ethereum, right? Using 2353, 2353. Right, so the Doge is one thing there. Doge is one thing. I could do this. I could do this for Doge. I could also do this for Ethereum. Just this is to when the market is in a hyper state like this. The only thing I think you've got to do here is just in the is just playing around the 15 minutes time frames usually, and something like this on the 15 minutes. So based on the 15 minutes and what I'm seeing here, you could touch 2534. Very, very, very fast. And you're just using the stochastic zero RSI here, here. But the problem with this form of trading, it's usually I don't really love smaller time frames trading. It's permits me to use the word, it's one kind. But it's not entirely bad though. So if you look here, this is left shoulder, this is the head, and this is like a right shoulder forming. And then you get something like it's usually what's the word to use? Interesting. The key word to use is it is definitely very, very interesting. When the odds are in your favor, it literally just gets easier. And the odds being in your favor most times it happens when you are in a bull season, in a bull run. It literally just gets easy, right? You just buy a long, wake up in the morning, you long and boom. Then you wake up next morning, you long and boom. You just be making easy money as long as you are scalping, right? You're not like swing trading, because um if you've missed legendary, and this is the reason, this is the reason why people miss legendary entries, right? It's because, for example, let us go to peep. Let's look at some entries I gave in the past, and then let me give you understanding why people miss legendary entries. Now if you look here, look at let's look at the daily time frame. Now you begin to see the entry I gave on peep coming. This was the stop, and this was the entry. Now when you look here, now between this was 9th of March. Between the 9th of March, it went up, it came back again to 5th of April. So let's assume from the 5th of April, and this is May, right? It's still played around here. So for 2 months, now for 2 months, it ranged around this area. Not everybody would want to be patient to wait for 2 months or even wait for 1 month. So let's just assume that it's around 5th of April, around the 10th of April you got in. So today makes it 1 month. So for 1 month, will you be willing to wait 1 month for a coin doing nothing? And then in just a few days, look at what has happened in a few days. So from the 4th of May, this is barely a week now. Look at how high it's gone. And what's crazy is look at how long it took from here to here. But the way it's going to get wide, it's going to break here and get start making new all-time highs. And it's just going to happen so fast. So fast. So when we're talking about, okay, the bull run is going to be a quick one, it's going to be a very simple one, it's going to be a very short one. This is what we mean. This is what we mean. Maybe in a week or 2 or 3 weeks or a month or so, boom, everything is over, everything has ended. Woo, we're back to over. It's just going to be so fast, so fast. So if you're sidelined, you're not in, you may, by the time you're planning to get ready to maximize the bull run, it may just be over. It may just be over. I wish that's not the case, but sweethearts, it is what it is. It is what it is. So this guy, I could, like I said, if one wants to trade this, you can literally enter, but you're gonna use here as your stop, and then target 1 to 2, or use here as your stop and target 1 to 1, and maybe before the day is over, it gets to like 0.29, 0.298. I mean, that could give you some quick progress for the day. It is what it is. Looking at the DGen field, right? A little bit of attention to let's look at the screen now, and looking at the DGen field and DGen sides of things. Uh, there's a narrative. One of the things that happens very well during bull seasons, it's narratives. Narratives, when they're stick, they really go crazy. Really, really go crazy. And there's narrative that has been trying to stick. I know there's a narrative of the Gok guys and the one that has to do with Grok and the opposite of Grok. But I think it could get bigger. Although I didn't like get in on any of that. But there's also the narrative of what's it called again? I'm trying to get the name in my head. Let me quickly check that, because I know actually I bought a couple of them like ahead of time, but I haven't like really been into a lot of them. So, but if I look through House Coin, Farmer Coin, these guys have built a solid narrative, right? If you look at things like House Coin, you begin to think, okay, what could be the essence of something like this, and what's pushing this, right? What's pushing this? What is buzzing about this? Why is this at 71 million market cap and has a strong liquidity of over 2.4 million? And then you look into when this was launched last week of March, get into how crazy it went in April, and look, okay, what has been the crazy uh, activity that has gone in from where it was, it got to an all-time high of 13,700%. So this is like 130x. So the bull run is already happening, and it's already started happening even in the midst of since April, right? It's already started happening since April, like we said as well. And if you're not looking on certain things, and maybe you're just a lazy ass kind of person, you're gonna miss out a lot of these things. But let's look at how school narrative has been strong for a while now. It's been strong since last month. I've actually been in house coin myself personally, and it's built around the concept of real estate, the housing market, and something that has to do with the concept of what is going on in finance and politics with in the US. And now, if you've never been concerned about international politics, this is going to be the worst time in your life ever. Especially those of you who are in third world countries. I don't care whatever is happening in some of the third world countries, and as much as what is happening on a global scale, because you are not in a, should I say what, you're not in a local industry, you're in a global industry. So whatever the fuck is happening in the US concerns you. Whatever is happening to Donald Trump concerns whatever is happening on a global scale of things in the EU. You should be concerned, because that is what is pushing these narratives, right? Political push, political effort. That is what is behind this kind of narrative. And then you've got so as this goes stronger, the political concept gets stronger. You look at X, what is going on, people talking about this, and if for any reason this breaks an all-time high, it could just literally get wide, and maybe you get to see this mixed stuffs. And then you look at another one that is called Farmer Coin. Now there'll always be the fake ones, the false ones, the stuff, the ones that just wants to get away. But look at this: 1.2 million market cap, 149K liquidity, and sometime around April this got up. Now this is about the pharmaceutical industry, right? You come here, you scroll down a bit, you want to check, okay, what's up with these guys? Big Pharma, right? Against Big Pharma, and what Trump is saying about being farmer. Is this going to stick? You look at X to check what's going on about it, and so I've clicked on their X page, trying to check through. I mean, it's a whole narrative concerned about what is being talked about. Big pharma is something being talked about. The housing is being talked about. You look at something that has to do. I think there could be food coin or something, right? It is big pharma. So as long as there's a lot going on in the big pharmaceutical industries, there's gonna be something in that area. So, and this has to do with on the political scale, on a global scale, what is going on. And there's one called the one I think I gave this particular one called NEET was the one I shared earlier in the Bull Run group called NEET, right? Not in employment, education, training. It's all from the same narrative. And I think the reason why I literally shared this initially was because of what's it called again? Was because of this had a good entry level, and it's did about 100% from where we got in and stuff and whatnot. So, but if you look at it, not in employment, not in education, not in training, then you want to check a coin for the needs. You click on the expert as well. And check what all of this in the balls in behind the same pharmaceutical blah blue and blah blue. So if the narrative sticks, you could get to see coins in this narrative fly up as well. Like, they're always like one narrative, the other narrative and stuff. I mean, but the stuff that has to do with and you've got like communities. I mean, one of the strong thing you want to watch out is coins that has X communities like this. See what I'm highlighting right now on X. Coins that have X communities is a strong thing. See, there's having followership and communities are two different things. Followers are not community, but communities are followers. I repeat, your followers are not communities, but your communities are followers, right? Community is very, very um and stuff. So if community gets intense and stuff as well, and definitely there's gonna be a lot of underdogs, right? A lot of underdogs, and I mean tomorrow what we want to do tomorrow is basically share charts, share trading entries, share possibilities of what we're looking out for. Like, okay, this is an entry we're aiming for. These are targets and stuff, and we're gonna do all that tomorrow and for the new week as well. And let's see how we, by God's grace, make some good amount of gains and good amount of profits. And I mean, but if someone wants to play around, I don't think I think Dodge is a very great option, which I just talked about already. It's a very, 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 very cool option. Bye for now, guys.